about we go for a nice meal sometime? My treat, of course.
I love him so much.
Hiya, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. It is so good to see you, and oh my god, are they stacking Thoma to be the bestest boy ever, man. In the trailer, he's like, here, look at him with dogs. He just loves dogs. Also, he'll pay for everything you could ever want. He'll do everything for you and love doing it. He might be broken mentally somehow, some way, but he's here and you get him. Okay? If he betrays us, everyone's gonna be shattered, okay? This man, I think, is just happy being just a person who doesn't exist anymore, who just likes doing things for people without anything in return, which is, I don't know how to trust that person. I don't know how to feel, but I can't even, what? Also, this is just a side thing, my friend. I feel like Thoma is the male equivalent of the childhood friend archetype. You feel me? I don't know about this. Also, I'm feeling very flowy today. Forgive me. I kind of just jumped at you as soon as you came in the door. A lot of feelings here. Anyways. Especially in the trailer where he's like, hey, I'll pay for dinner. I'll just make you happy. Hey, by the way, here's me with dogs. Yeah, fucking dogs love me. Guess what? Dogs love me. I'm the best. Okay? I am the perfect husbando, and the whole thing. But, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be breaking down Thoma's skill. Again, go check out the cinematic trailer if you have not. It's fantastic. Very quick, very instant dopamine rewarding, gets you a good understanding of the character, even though, unlike other characters, we've had a pretty good time with Thoma. He's, again, very reliable, very nurturing, and all around, frankly, a human being that most likely doesn't exist, or will not exist for long because the world will eat them up and rip them apart, frankly. But this is basically my plea to say Thoma must be protected. Anywho, so that is most likely why a lot of you want Thoma, personality-wise and general good bro dude behavior, alright? But what is his kit, and why is his kit an echo of his personality? Which is to say, he's gonna take care of you, and he's gonna be really good at it. Mihoyo, being lovely, has uploaded their fantastic, hey, this is what this character is and does. So, for those guys who do not know, he's a 4-star pyro character that happens to use a pole arm. And Mihoyo has defined him as Thoma is a support character that can attack and protect at the same time. His elemental burst deals AoE pyro damage when attacking, while consistently providing a shield to his teammates. So, this kind of hints at the fact that he has like a repairing shield, or a resetting durability shield, which is fantastic. And of course, Mihoyo, being Mihoyo as well, gave him one of the coolest, like, fast burst out spear using animations ever, and of course we're not. Well, it's just, again, he's a support character. You're not going to be hitting and you gain relatively nothing for hitting with him. But again, his attack looks wickedly sick. He like throws his spear and does like a quick backflip as he throws it, which is unbelievably sick, but you know, just, you'll never see it. Anyways, dead inside, moving on. Now, Thoma's elemental skill, Blazing Bliss. This skill essentially does a quick instance of damage. Thoma go ahead and kick someone right in the chin, which does pyro AoE damage, but also summons forth his Blazing Barrier. This skill also applies fire to Thoma, which is pretty good for like cleansing things, although it's rare that they really have added that, and it's not like you can't circumnavigate that, but even still, it's just something to consider, especially considering, you know, if it applies water to you and you interact with cryo, it's a nightmare because you get frozen and shit. But there are some things to consider about this barrier. First things first, it is a dense ass barrier, and it scales most like other barriers with HP. So you're gonna want to build Thoma with a ton of HP. It's a pyro shield, so it's gonna be extra resistant to pyro. Okay, so pin this in your mind. When a new barrier is obtained, the remaining damage absorption of the existing barrier will stack, and its duration will refresh. Okay, just keep that posted. So when you get another barrier, it resets and it stacks. So you already got a meaty shield, so you're basically doubling your health pool because your shield is a percentage of your health. So just take that in consideration. Anyways, now with that being said, there's a slight limit, so you can't just build stupid HP or there is diminishing returns, but basically the maximum damage absorption of the Blazing Barrier will not ever exceed Thoma's max HP. It actually plays within itself. Yeah, if you build HP, you're going to be able to get a better shield, and you're going to be able to have a tankier shield double. In a weird instance where I guess you don't build HP, which I don't know what instance that is, because he scales off HP in almost every regard. Yeah. Anywho, now let's talk about, I'm not sure if I'd call it his bread and butter, but it's his ultimate burst. His ult, if you will. Crimson Crimson. We're just gonna call it Crimson. It's Crimson. Okay. Coward, I know. Essentially, when Thoma activates his ult, he's gonna do some quick AoE burst damage with Pyro, which is lovely, but it's what comes after that's pretty fantastic and makes him one of the better support characters in the game. I think, honestly, becoming one of the most immortal characters in the game in terms of support. So after that, after you do this quick burst of AoE damage, you now have a roaming ult that is going to do little poofs or like cone-like fire attacks for whoever your active character is. That is amazing. For those guys who are unaware, endgame or a Spiral Abyss or anything like that, any endgame content is hindered on you having a lot of damage, and this is a way for you to kind of get that, or more of damage, I guess. But also, you're getting a shield to boot, so it's pretty damn good. And it's a shield that can regenerate over and over again, making itself even tankier and just, yeah. Anyways, so yes, this is just a big poof of fire damage in front of you for your melee character of choice. Yeah, everyone gets this, but here's the catch, here's the kind of negative, is this fire cone is on a 1 second timer, which is amazing, but this is kind of a double-edged sword. Typically, when a thing is very, very low in terms of cooldown rate, so you can attack, and there's more flames happening at once, tends to make it so that the damage initially is lower, which honestly doesn't really make sense because it's beneficial because there's an elemental cooldown reaction, so it's better to have a 2 second cooldown, which is essentially Thoma's other thing. So this is the two main contributing factors with Thoma that I think are bad. He mass applies an element, and when he applies that element, it does not scale well. So his initial cone burst does not hit that hard, and then it also hits many times. The reason why many times is a problem is because elemental reactions have a cooldown of 2 seconds, give or take, so that's why it's a 2 second cooldown. That's perfect. But Thomas has a 1 second cooldown, so you're going to be mass applying fire, so you're always going to be detonating with the other element, i.e. water, cold, or whatever, cryo, so that's the problem there. And what might be a problem with Thoma is that you may be detonating the elemental reactions with Thoma's low scaling burst, or elemental poof, essentially. So that's not good. You want to make sure that you hit or finish the detonation or complete the elemental reaction with the character that has the highest crit damage, or scaling, or elemental mastery, because it's the person that detonates, that completes the cycle, that gets the big ass numbers, essentially. And Thoma would just quickly grab that from the character that you're trying to do that with, potentially. Now, this is also good, but in the current state of Genshin, it's not that good. So why would it be good? Because if they ever release a water character that does massive hydro damage or massive cryo damage, then you can reverse, melt, and vaporize, which is the highest scaling in the game right now. So he can be a pyro support for any sort of high-end damage dealer who functions around hydro or cryo. So he is a future kind of potential investment character. Regardless, you're still getting additive damage, which is nice, especially if you don't have many characters that do this, and you're getting a big, beefy ass shield and a cool ass looking character to run around the world with. So I still think the value is there. But one of the things that they're not telling you is that there maybe possibly be a way to refresh this thing. Oh, actually, no, yeah, they do. You can play. I can fucking stop holding back. They showed Thomas in the Hangout. So yes, so one of the passive traits we were able to see in the Hangout that I didn't do. I don't have gameplay. We're looking at a site that shall not be named. Anyways, one of his passive talents is just by you having the shield and taking damage, it will grow in shield strength. And because we've been able to see his constellations, just to break things down, his constellations make him significantly better at shielding. So some of it decreases your cooldowns, and other decreases your cooldown when you get hit with your barrier up and things like that. And then the last constellation, the big pooba, is 15 more damage for your active character when you reapply a shield or reset a shield or get a shield for the first time. You get 15% more damage for normal attack, charge attack, and plunge attack damage, which is good, but not great. Again, some constellations, the 6th constellation is like getting 200% more elemental mastery, which is wild, but he already provides a lot, so I get it. Although it would be cool for him to have more, like 15% more damage on elemental skill and ult damage rather than normal attack, because you can't times that by 3, you know, with your other support characters. I digress. Still very cool. And again, I don't want to go into too much of his other skills because we've already been here for far too long, but a quick summary for what Thomas is: a character that provides a bulletproof shield and mass applies elements. but his gameplay loop is going to be that of someone that you're going to have to jump back to, quickly reapply shields and whatnot in order to gain certain buffs and to keep yourself topped off. There still should be enough time for you to play in the whole swing of things, and the negatives to Thoma is that you are going to dominate the elemental reaction cooldown in the way that conflicts with high damage at endgame. Summary of the lovely and wondrous Thoma is that he has a bulletproof shield, a shield in which you can stack on top of other shields. And if you have constellations and play him right, you'll be able to back to back and just keep putting on shield after shield. And also, that's something I don't think people are considering, is that that's his loop, is to throw on a shield. So yes, you're getting shield, but if you're playing properly and you're in the shit of it, you're also going to be activating your elemental skill every single time you activate the shield or activate your ult, which does a little good poof of damage outside of the consistent damage of its 1 second like little poof. Simply put, I do not think if you invest in Thoma you will regret it, although again there is that worry for him. I think he's a character that will get better with time. Once they start to release cryo characters that are DPSs and water characters that are main DPSs that deal big boy damage and can really mess with the whole initial vaporize hit with that timer, that's when he's going to become a monster. But ladies and gentlemen, we got one more quick thing to talk about, the weapons. Low weapon. These weapons are fire, man. Especially with my build, I may be looking at this with rose-colored glasses. Forgive me. I have a ball team that like really works with energy recharge and stuff like that, or elemental damage, all these things. Regardless, the spear and new bow are coming in the weapon banner, which is super exciting because what they do is really interesting. Basically, if you have a team or a couple of teammates or team members in your party that happen to be built to have an absolute abundance of energy recharge, the percentage of that energy recharge is converted to base team ultimate damage, which should be absurd, especially when you get refinements on these things. They grow in power and that percentage goes further and further and further. And again, a lot of endgame is supports, i.e. Thoma and the, oh my god, if you guys have seen some things, you naughty people, you've seen it, I know you have. The weapon banner and the character banner are so good. There's so many supports that are going to be to die for. It is the best banners in Genshin history. Spoiler alert, it's nuts. If you've saved for Hutao, they got you, because they made a great weapon banner and they made a great thing. This is probably one of the better times to say fuck it and spend a little bit of money, although don't feed the beast, please. Please do not spend in abundance, spend what you can. Anyways, but yes, that's what these weapons do. It can be very, very good, although it does scale off of attack percentage, so it's a little shitty that it doesn't feed into itself perfectly with energy recharge, but what can you do? I digress, ladies and gentlemen. This is big pooba, big win, big thing to consider and to want and to fight for, because this is gonna make some builds really, really absurd. I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe button to my right. Also, if you happen to give me a single second of your goddamn time, much love as always. Now, before I let you go, my friends, I did want to let you know that we are actually streaming every single day now, except Monday and Wednesday, because your boy is gonna die otherwise. Anxiety rules me, and that's as best I got. 2 days of recovery, please. Anyway, but we also stream every day at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I will come up with a spreadsheet eventually to show you guys what the hell that is with your time zones and such. But for right now, be patient with me. Anywho, nonsense aside, thank you for your time. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye, my friends.